And now we'll invite the founders of Climify up on the stage to do a talk about the challenges and opportunities in an AI-driven world. So if you could please put on your headsets, then we'll listen in. Thank you.
Thanks for the introduction. Should we just start? We wait for...
Yes, I think that's up to you. I think maybe we should start by giving you, welcome you on stage with some round of applause to gather the attention.
Thanks. So, good morning, everybody. My name is Davide Cali, and together with Marin Holly, we are going to talk about opportunity and challenges in AI-driven world. So this presentation is meant to be a bit inspirational about what can we do with AI, what we can't yet, what is going to happen next. So we are from the startup Climify, it's a DTU spin-off, almost 3 years old now. We work with buildings. Our vision is to achieve sustainable, healthy, comfortable, and productive indoor environment. So just to give you some insight who we are, why we are here today, and how we want to reach sustainable buildings is through our solution, which is stated in our mission, is to develop a world-class human-in-the-loop software solution for optimal building performance. So human-in-the-loop, it means that we are very aware that if we want building systems to work efficiently, to be healthy, to be comfortable, we need to integrate the users into the control process of buildings, and that's where AI for us is very relevant, because it provides unique opportunities of creating human-friendly interfaces for normal occupants of buildings. So why do we talk about buildings? Then we will switch to AI in the next slides. But why do we talk about buildings is because buildings are responsible for 40% of the energy usage worldwide. We have some challenges we all know. Climate neutrality by 2050, net zero greenhouse gas emission. How do we reach that? We know that building stock actually gets retrofitted at a rate of 1% per year. New buildings raising rate is around 1% per year. So looking at those numbers, we know that in 26 years, we basically cannot reach our goals. So we need new strategies to address our building stock. And that's where digitalization and AI represent a huge opportunities. Before we talk more about the AI, I'm also part-time as a senior researcher at DTU. So at DTU, we do experiments all the time. So I invite you to take your phone and scan the QR code, because I would like to do an experiment with you, and then we will see the live results. So why are we talking about human in the loop? And then we will go back and discuss how to use AI with the technology that we currently bring to market. So we try to answer the question, can we have full building automation, which means basically to have sustainable buildings and possibly comfortable buildings, while having occupants in buildings satisfied? So please answer the 4 questions. And I give you 30 seconds more. Oh, I go here. So how many answers do we have, Marin? Perfect. So that's the answers that you just gave us. So standardly, when we are in a building, we have thermostats. We have a lot of interfaces that we can control. And basically, we can decide numbers. On a thermostat, we can set something between 1 and 5, whatever 1 and 5 is. A smart thermostat, we can have a scheduler. We can decide the set point as a temperature. But what is the temperature? if we look at your answers, we see that some of you think it's 19 degrees. We have 3 persons who said it's 26 degrees. And that's actually 26 degrees in here. So congratulations to those who could guess it. And if we look at what would your set point be there, then we have also very different set points, spacing from 17 to 25 degrees. And if we ask you instead a qualitative question, how do you feel? Then we see one picture, your actual perception, which is here, and most of us feel warm. So intuitively, we actually all would try to get a colder temp. Almost all of us would try to get it colder. And if we look actually at the preferences, even if some of us find it warm, some of us want warmer, and some like that it is warm. So finding it warm doesn't necessarily mean we want to get colder temperature. So what I want to say with this experiment is set points are not human friendly. We are very good instead at saying what we want qualitatively. And that's where we go back to the AI discussion. How can we use AI today to enhance the operation of buildings or any other systems so that we as human beings are used to have a subjective feedback to the machine, and machines understand how to optimize a system that can be mathematically optimized. So we can go back to the slides. And I will give now the word to Marin, who will talk about a bit more generically and the different technologies on the challenges and the opportunities and describing what it is AI exactly. So, please.
So we can start shortly about talking about AI in our everyday lives. So we know that there is increase of AI every day in our everyday actions and decisions. So one of the examples is actually smart assistants, Siri, Alexa, Google Assistants. Then we have e-commerce, where we have a lot of personalized recommendation based on our actions and what we do. Even in healthcare, we now have help of AI to diagnose and do some predictive health treatment so that we speed up the process in healthcare and get better results. Then we have also in finance, where actually the Nordic countries are very good at, because they have a quite good deals to do fraud detection between different countries like Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. And of course, as we know, there's a lot of people trying to do a good trading algorithm based on AI to earn a lot of money. We also use AI in transportation. So since this is related to DTU, we know that DTU had autonomous bus going around DTU campus. So there's a lot of AI in transportation as well. Then, of course, we have entertainment. We all know recommendations on the streaming platforms, for example. And then the last thing that I will mention is social media, where we have a lot of content curation based on AI. But yeah, if you're not familiar with this term, I will just shortly introduce what it is. So AI is artificial intelligence. So what we are trying to do is simulate human intelligence in machines. It enables machines to actually learn, process data, and make decisions like we do. Of course, AI encompasses a range of technologies for problem solving, language understanding, data mining, and similar. So before we mentioned its inspirational talk, but of course there are some negative sides to it, and these are the challenges that I will mention. So first of all, a lot of people, when ChatGPT came out for everyone, were very concerned about people losing jobs. So job displacement is one of the challenge. So we have to change the way we work, and we have to re-educate people to take these new technologies into their hand and become a bit more adapted to the new ways we work in. So then, of course, there's always ethical concerns. we see a bit more raise in this as more people are using AI. So privacy issues, bias in algorithms, because the data sets that are used are not including everything they need. Of course, and then we have accountability, that who is actually responsible if something goes wrong. Some examples are actually security and cyber threats. So we know that the rise of AI, everybody is getting concerned about AI taking over crucial infrastructure or influencing who has access to it. Then there is data privacy and ownership, which is a bit connected to ethical concerns. So we know that the question is who owns the data, and which data AI actually has access to generate new things. And then, of course, technological limitations, which I think that people don't talk a lot about, is actually computational power that we need to actually run all these models and make them better, faster, bigger, and for them to understand more of what we do. But of course, all these challenges, we have to overcome them. We can talk a little bit more about AI and ethics. So before we go into the positive things, we'll talk about some societal challenges. So here is one thing. Everybody is probably familiar with the trolley problem. In this case, I think it would be very easy decision which side to let the train go. There are some problems that are a bit harder for us to decide, but also for AI to decide. So we have to be careful about the decisions it makes. So we have to find a balance between that. Then, of course, we have bias. As I mentioned, the data sets that we are using for training these AIs, they don't include everything. So there's some bias in those algorithms. So we have to ensure fair and equal equality in decision making. Then privacy concerns, we have to protect the personal data of the users. We've seen a lot of big companies having issues with leaking personal data of their users because the employees were using AI and copying the data directly into AI. So we have to think about those things. And then we have to also think about accountability and transparency, where we need to define who is actually responsible and who needs to take care of the results of AI. Now we actually asked AI to help us with one thing, which actually is connected to bias. So this was the slide from before that we made, and then we asked AI to help us to generate a nice slide for it. And this is the slide. It didn't do a very good job, but with the color scheme, but also some other things. But that's not that relevant. What's relevant is, for example, this icon. I think you all noticed one thing. It says finance, but there is a guy running away with a bag of money. So that's a quite big bias, we would say, in generating this icon. Of course, we might have biased it ourselves by saying fraud detection as the first thing related to it. So this is one example. Then the second example is actually entertainment. Lucky for me, I think you all recognize what this icon actually is. Some younger people in the audience might not, but it's a film that it's not really used today unless you are Christopher Nolan. You don't really know what it is. So we actually brought the camera to take the picture so that we show how it used to be and how AI is biased with it. And then of course entertainment is not always about movies and film, but it can also be about other things as well. And then the last example, which is very obvious, is the social media, which of course newspapers is not something that's related to social media. So this is example of a very big bias in AI when it's generating icons, that social media is connected to the newspaper. So let's go to the nicer side and the opportunities that we can all take and do something good. So one of the opportunities is automation and efficiency. So we can automate a lot of boring tasks. So we know all the robot processing automation, where we can analyze the papers when we scan them, when we have all these checkboxes that people fill out, that we can automatically transfer them into digital data and analyze them easily. We don't need to deal with the paper anymore. Then improve decision making. We have a lot of data, and for us it's very hard to decide based on a lot of data. When we have data on a huge scale, a person needs a lot of time to actually think about it and analyze and get some insights out of it. So we can actually use AI to analyze this data and give us a lot of data-driven insights, and then we can decide for better options. We can make much smarter choices. As before, I mentioned enhanced healthcare, so we can actually use AI for early detection of diseases. We can use AI for predicting the spread of diseases, for example, as well. And we can also use it for advising on their treatments based on the symptoms that are related. Then one of the things that we are actually trying in Climify, and that's create a better customer experience. So we use AI for personalizing a user experience and giving support in real time to the users. And the last thing I will mention is supporting green transition. This is our main focus. So making a greener future, so trying to optimize energy usage in the buildings, using more renewables, and of course we can use it for other things, such as for infrastructure planning and usage of energy on different scales. So this is one of the examples that we use. So this is user feedback example. Now we usually have it much more. So this is now a slide with 200 words, and approximately takes 250 milliseconds for brain to process one word. But that's one word without any other in the context. So if you read it, it would take you approximately 1 minute, but to understand it fully, it would take you between 20 and 30 minutes if you focused on each of them. So that's quite a lot of time that you need to process all this feedback. So what we do with AI, we can summarize some of these things very quickly in a matter of a second or less, and then you have a much easier task of analyzing this data. So one of the things is actually topic extraction. So all this feedback that's here, we put it into AI, and it immediately gives us topics out of all these feedbacks. So we can see that there are a few topics that it noticed, and then based on what you're interested in. So for example, we do a lot of smart control in the smart thermostats. So we are very interested in temperature and draft. So we can pick one of those feedbacks and analyze it even further. So we can see that this we can see this feedback, for example, and then we can ask AI to quickly give us sentiment analysis and severity. So for each feedback, you can immediately get sentiment and severity. As we can see, this is negative because people are feeling cold. So this is not good. Feeling cold is usually a negative thing. And then severity is moderate because it's not severe enough. It's to have it higher. So even further than that, we can analyze keywords. So if we are interested to quickly see specifically which parts of the feedback are important, we can do keyword analysis, where we can get certain things out of it, such as okay, we know it's today, Saturday, it's cold, and it's in the living room. So there are a few things that AI can quickly give us information about. And now I'll give word back to Davide, who will talk a little bit more about future of the AI.
Yes. So first of all, sorry for taking a picture of you. It's on the film, so we can't recognize anybody. No worries. The old technology where we need also a lot of fantasy to remember what happened. We went through very generically what AI can we do. So basically, it can have a positive future impact. It can really revolutionize the industries, the way we think of healthcare today, and it can revolutionize the way we drive innovation. It has potential for solving complex global challenges. Of course, we have to be careful with how we develop AI. So there is an importance of developing ethical and responsible AI, and we should make sure that it serves a positive change in society, and that it is the whole society that benefits as a whole. In my time back in Germany at the WTH, the former rector of the university was interviewed about double usage in research and development. And he said, since the first man on earth invented the hammer, there were people that used it to put the nail on the wall, and other people who killed other people with the hammer. So, of course, technology always have the positive application and also the negative application, and we should be very careful how we develop AI in the future and how we use it. Now, to close, we had this problem where we had to decide if we killed the 5 philosopher professors that invented this problem or the poor guy who never thought about this problem. So how do we decide that? Now, in this particular case, AI won't be able to help us that much, but in many other challenges, we are quite sure that compared to us, AI will path a way that we didn't think of. So that's the hope and the potential that we see in the future. So thanks. You wanted to take a picture, I saw. So great. So thank you for your attention. I hope it was interesting. And if there is any question, I don't know if the format allow questions, but otherwise reach out to us.
Thank you so much.